We are now live.
Tacos.
Tara, you still there?
No, he's dead.
And yeah.
Alright. Hello, everyone.
Gucci.
You may be wondering why we're live today. That is because...
Two of our friends are dead. With work.
Yeah, two of our friends are dead with work.
And because of that, we can't have to do fun things.
Look, when we started doing D&D, I came up with a rule.
What's that rule?
If one person can't make it, we can still play. If two people can't make it, then the session is off.
Why?
Because we don't have that many people. So if two people can't make it, it negatively affects the campaign.
I guess that makes sense.
If one person can't make it, I can control them like a puppet, or their character like a puppet, and it wouldn't be that detrimental to the campaign. But two people, nah. So with that rule in effect, here we are. Because we were doing this before we were doing D&D, so, and I was thinking, because we were, it started seeming like we were doing session after session, like each week. So I thought, we might not be able to do this for a while, but here we are now, so
You go take your meds.
I'll go take my meds and let everyone else know we're live. And I will leave you in the capable wings of Chocobo.
That's what she said. Or she said, or they said. Man, this shit's confusing.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
Okay.
That's a thing I remember from a podcast I used to listen to. It'd say, hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
Okay. Let's beat feet. Get there.
Okay, Slime. Word on the street is that Salim Al-Kupar was driven into hiding, but that he's still in the area. We need to figure out where he's hiding, and then find out why. To facilitate that, I've built you a new toy.
Cool. Is it a robotic turtle butler?
No. After gathering data from your ancestors, I've been able to map the Cooper DNA. I've modified your binocular with a new visual guidance system that I've programmed to detect anything with which Salim Al-Kupar may have come in contact.
Wow, Bentley. That's some
Basically,
real
it's a
science
DNA
fiction.
scanner in a sense.
Wow. I wonder if Salim was trying to see if he could summon a genie from one of these lamps. He must be really desperate. Activate your binocular and scan the surrounding areas. You should see a glow on any object that Salim has recently touched. Why, that door definitely does not belong here. You better get a picture of that as well so I can analyze it. the village while I sort this out. I've marked a waypoint for you. I still need some more data, Sly. Keep searching. I'm picking something up. Put your binocular on, Sly. You're in range. Use binocular now, Sly. Interesting. Looks like Salim recently took this camel for a test drive. Quick, Sly, the binocular. There's something nearby. Well, Salim's obviously not neglecting his grooming. I'm picking something up. Put your binocular on, Sly. This looks like a peaceful spot. I'll bet Salim uses this place for meditating. Okay, Sly, I'm collating all the data, and it appears Salim is on a boat?
Greetings. You're Salim Al-Kapar, aren't you?
And who are you?
Well, that part's kind of complicated. I'm a thief like you, but I'm kind of new in town.
Welcome back.
How about you come back to my gang's hideout and I can explain myself?
How about you go nick a camel's hop?
Okay. Look, I know you're in trouble. I'm here to help. I can explain everything, but let's go where we can talk safely.
Why the
Besides,
hell does he look
you
like
look
a
hungry.
superhero?
How would you like some food?
Ooh.
That's because the man's collecting
It
up
was
Sly
foolish of you
Cooper
not to
Mouse and
mention that in the first
Sly's
place.
ultimate
Let's go.
outfit.
Makes him look like a superhero?
I mean, look at the man.
No, I'm just questioning the design. Like, you'd think like his ultimate costume would be like the ultimate thief, but
Back
he
at the
looks like a
hideout,
superhero.
introductions went quickly as Salim stuffed his face.
God damn.
He told us about his problem. Some new
That's
player
like-
calling herself Miss Decibel
bitch
had rolled
right
into
here.
town and started
This
throwing
bitch.
lots of money around. It didn't
This
take a
bitch
genius
is
to
a
figure out who
scorn
the
on music
time-traveling
and on
lieutenant
goddamn
was here.
skateboard.
Salim and the 3 remaining thieves had decided to pull one last heist before disappearing into retirement. Miss Decibel being the target.
In their thief work.
Of course, with her technology, she had easily captured his thief brothers, and Salim had been trying to come up with a plan to free them ever since. Bentley uncovered some interesting background information. Miss Decibel had come from a wealthy British family. Her true love was classical music.
Myself on my dad's side. Ooh, you suck.
Unfortunately, her complete lack of musical talent, coupled with an extreme temper, made for a volatile combination.
We only just started.
After suffering a freak accident during a tantrum, she was left unable to play music normally. However, when she discovered she could control people with her hypnotic tones, a new criminal was born.
Whoa.
She began using her devious talents to control others, forcing them to commit crimes for her.
Oh,
We told Salim about the paradox, and the whole thing made some strange kind of sense to him. The bad news was that he wasn't completely convinced that we were there to help him. I could see I was going to have to prove myself. Again.
Like, oh my god, did she kill someone?
Now, hopefully if Laios does come here, show up, I have a question that regards him, the other person watching, and Bear. Hopefully if Laios shows up, I can ask him, ask him when he gets, so I can ask you all 3 of you here. Because I really need some help with something.
I'm curious.
It's a camel.
What's the question about?
Oh, no. Well, okay, so before I ask the question, a little context. So recently, I've been making leaps and strides in Final Fantasy 14. Like, I just got like my entire Goro outfit and weapon for cosmetic purposes, since I'm a bit over level to use it, but I also got like all like the savage mounts for the first like set of raids, that being like the carnival stuff, and I really need some help getting the others.
If I were to help, I would be like very low level.
Okay, apparently Salim lost a small fortune betting on the camels a while back and had to pawn his thief outfit. Sly, if we can buy that outfit back for Salim, I'm sure we could gain his trust. The shopkeeper is a security freak, a real head case. His place is a fortress and he never leaves. All business is conducted through a slot in the door. I think this is one time we're going to have to play it straight and pay the man what he wants. As you might imagine, his price is pretty steep. The shopkeeper will only accept payment in the form of flawless gemstones. 3 to be exact. The only gems of that quality around here are the decorative stones embedded in the city walls. I've located the 3 largest specimens for you. All you have to do is remove them, avoid the guards, and bring them to the shop. Just make sure those gems are still flawless when you get there.
Ramu! You can get him as a mount.
What?
Yep. Yes, you can actually look it up. And like, I think the way you can do it is like, I think it might be super easy, cause the way it works is that I think he's part of a savage thing. like you can get him as like a part of doing a savage difficulty raid, and I found out that you can actually like do those like over and over and over again as many times as you want until you get the mount. Because that's how I managed to get Kieran. Because in order to get Kieran, you have to complete like get the elemental nightmares, which are special mounts you can get by completing savage difficulty versions of certain raids, which you can again do freely. And I managed to get it easily because I'm level 90, and I did an unregistered party, and the savage things were all level 50.
Okay, so Ramu in this is I guess a centaur?
Hey, what up, Lap? Oh, Megamon.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why they do it like that. But that's what it looks like.
Like they could have just had him somewhat normal size and then have you on his shoulder.
That would've been cool.
Hi Latios, Mekuban. Yeah, Latios.
You're muted, by the way.
Muted?
Yeah.
Oh, that might be because of Cast Ranger.
What's Cast Ranger?
Tokusatsu Discord server.
Let me bear now Mekumon or
Yeah, because...
Well, you're half right. I did mute myself preemptively for Cast Ranger, only to realize they would have muted me anyway.
Yeah.
But it was more so I was preoccupied with something I didn't want to get anything over the call.
Got it.
Sensitive family conversation.
Got it.
Also, no also, Zach, how much do you like Monster Hunter? Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Monster Hunter?
9.
Never played it.
Well, the reason why I asked is because you can also get the Rathalos mount in Final Fantasy XIV relatively easy too.
Fuck yes!
I know exactly how to, and I've been trying to get that one too, but like the way that they, yeah, it's you really use some help with that.
I will say this much though before I get fully settled in. Bear. The Autobots have finally reached land.
I saw. I still have to read.
Alright, now just make sure you get those gems to the shop in one piece.
So yeah, Latios ended up joining the Cast Ranger server, and he was there last night listening
What do you want?
to the
I'm
live
here to
show.
buy the thief outfit.
Sorry, I do not believe one such as yourself
podcast.
could meet my price. Good day.
Oh, that's too bad.
And it seemed he had quite a
Guess
bit
I'll
of
just
fun.
have to go bet these gems on the camel races.
Wait, you have gems?
Yeah, I saw all that fun you had, Mekumon.
These rocks are so heavy, I can barely lift them.
I can see
You
myself
want the
getting
gems?
used to
I
doing
won't
that
be out.
weekly.
Do we have a deal?
Yeah.
Indeed. If you want to purchase
I
these
wish
old
I could
rags,
join
pay
you,
my
but
toll
time
check.
zones are
Our sales
glitched.
final, no returns.
Indeed.
Sorry, just looking over the general voice chat after last
I've been
night.
talking to Salim, and it obvious that outfit is the key to his success. He claims it was once owned by a real genie, and that it could
Speaking of
actually
which,
slow time.
Burb,
Fascinating.
I managed to make my final form rider from the game we were playing.
In any event,
I can show you if you want to see it.
good job,
Okay.
Mike. Although it seems we have another problem.
I think I have the image saved on my
tells
phone.
me that Miss Decibel is constantly changing the locations of the captured thieves, which makes them
Alright,
almost
so you don't know
impossible
what
to
his
track.
rider form looked like,
It's
right?
gonna be. Hold
Giant
on,
weird
Mike.
looking Digimon.
I'm picking something up.
Of
Sleep sunspots. Why? The paradox is here. He's mating with Miss Decibel right now.
Also, Bear.
Sounds like the perfect
Yes.
opportunity for a little
I have someone I'd like to
Great
introduce you
idea.
to.
Just one
Is
thing.
it cookie? I don't
That
want cookie.
outfit won't fool these guards. They know the locals and they'll peg you for a
I have
stranger
someone I'd like
immediately.
to
You should
introduce you
just
to.
stay out of sight.
And that someone
Thanks for the
is
info, Ben. I'm on my way.
Edgy.
That's that edgy.
Slide, press the drive
I'd have
button
preferred
to use
Eddie
that
Toe, but
door.
okay.
You know what? That's better. Edgy though.
Slide, now you better get
Burn.
going. Slide.
This is what his rider form looks like. That's it. That's his normal rider form.
Looks like a very cool Digimon.
And mixed
Digimon
mixed
on
with mixed with Oni powers. And then this is what he made.
Holy Garo. Garo costumes. He looks like one of those Garo knights.
Kind of. He combined Make Rack
I
One.
didn't mention it. Yeah, he kind of does.
There's a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of Mekumon, a little Makrakmon, a little Raziomon, a little Kamen Rider, a little of 2 different Power Rangers.
Yeah, everything. All of this
Be very careful with this because I remember she sneezes every time. Oh jeez. Anyway.
But yeah, if you remember his Ranger form, he had like
One of a kind.
he had his mask, his visor had that line down the middle with like 2 lines on each side.
Yeah.
Of course,
Pretty much
everything
did
is
that with this
progressing
mask.
splendidly.
Okay.
I have
And he
those
replaced the
raggedy little
demon,
thieves
the
completely
Oni head
under
on
my
the forehead
control.
with
I've
the
never
Power
seen
Rangers
better
heels.
forgeries. The documents they're producing are of the highest quality.
Perfect. Once I get them
As well
back
as a
to
bunch
the
of other
present
cool
day,
details.
and my royal lineage is discovered, my wealth and power will
Does
be
Lanios like
unstoppable.
Garo Knight
Well,
any possibility
there
at
is
all?
one teensy little problem.
Never watched
We
it.
still need to
Oh, okay,
feed
I
our
thought that might be up your
worker
alley.
bees, but our supplies
the other-
are
I was gonna
running
say,
low.
like, if
The
you like
one who
Garo,
called himself the
I was gonna say I
Panther
managed to get my
seems to work
Lancer
best when I
Garo
feed him
armor in Final Fantasy 14.
Scorpion claws.
Which one's that?
Disgusting.
Dan.
Yeah, very good.
Right.
I shall have some delivered immediately. Whatever it takes to keep these vermin
What-
working.
what kind of is that again?
One more thing. Tell your
Dan.
guards if they
The
don't
White
catch
Knight.
Cooper,
Dan White
I
Knight
will
armor
have
is the
them
guy with
on
the
fire.
lance.
and then execute.
Well, I actually watched like all the transformations and my god, those are cool.
They're
Yeah, they
creating
are.
a false royal identity for Le Paradox in the present day.
Oh, the spear one.
That
Okay.
will be close to
You
untouchable.
should warn me before
We
you
also
do
need
that.
a delivery. The Panther needs scorpion claws. Maybe we can make that work for us.
You must remember to bring a
Also,
handkerchief next
I hope those filthy little thieves are being productive. I could swear I heard something.
Did I mention I love your new perfume? It has such a delightful hint of peanuts. It must be yours, the camel hair. Did I mention your outfit is stunning? I
Hey,
cannot imagine
Yeah.
anyone else wearing it.
Have you ever heard of the Makai Knight known as Yaiba?
Tell me, what do you think of this little sand pit?
I,
Well, darling, this dry
I was like,
environment
Cause I was like,
and
okay,
so
well.
covered with my sinuses.
sounds familiar.
My music practice has been atrocious lately.
Hold on, let me send
Would
you
you
a
like to
picture.
hear that?
Not really, but I want you to hear me. Do not fail me.
I've
with those
spoken
other
before
idiots.
her about how the
I hate to see
inevitable
you
point where
suffer
her
here.
Felix has to sort of die and revert to a Digigag and then rehatch in order to get his
Because
upgrade
others
there.
have failed, even
Just
immediately,
imagine,
and she
at
was the
some point the
smart one.
Digigag cracks open and the image I just sent to Bear is what pops out.
You understand.
Oh, yes,
Oh my god, it's so cute.
everything will go precisely as planned. Although, I must trouble you for some camel cheese. Absolutely horrid stuff.
Nah, you
but
got me-
the
you got me
Tiger
laughing
seems to rely on
yesterday
it,
when you
and our
said that,
reserves are almost
uh,
depleted.
Just starve these
At one
filthy
point-
hoodlums into submission?
Felix
Yeah, fine.
baby
I will send the
levels
delivery.
couldn't do that
More delivery.
scene from the Digimon movie.
Camel cheese.
Oh, so that's what you meant by
That's
Kazuichi.
where you're pointing that trunk.
Yes.
Also, yeah, I do remember this one. Yaiba. They're from a Pachinko game, aren't they?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they
Any more
are.
requests?
All I noticed
Hello,
is,
sweeties. I believe that's all.
like,
as soon
okay,
as the documents are
you look at that armor and you tell me that no one but a girl wears that.
Let me guess, it's a guy.
There is one lost in
Yep.
little me. The
Yeah,
one
I don't know what
the
it,
lion
what's with
seems to
Garo
favor cobra
and that
tails.
whole only
And you know how
men can be
tough
Makai
those are
Knights.
to
Like,
obtain.
Fine, you shall have them. But I had
Really?
better get those papers quickly.
Boy, I'd hate
listen,
to be the guy
I
that
get
has to
it's
collect
Garo's
the
for an
cobra
older
tail.
audience, but really?
I could swear I
mean,
heard something.
Could also be a hint towards the culture of the Garo in general. I don't know. I don't really watch this show.
It has more to do with Japanese culture than like
I've got a crazy
the
idea.
in-show culture.
That outfit may not work on the guards, but I bet outsiders like the Paradox
You
and
cannot
the
tell me
wouldn't know the difference.
that
Expecting deliveries from
girls
the
cannot be Makai
using
Knights.
the outfit to
When
impersonate the
legitimately
delivery
you can
boy.
fit two people inside a Garo armor at the same time.
Excellent idea, Bentley. Just to ensure it's foolproof, I'm gonna
Wait,
use
what?
my
No, Sly,
Remember
don't
that
say it.
one episode,
Italian
or
accent.
one episode of
I
both
said crazy, Sly, not suicidal.
Koga and Raiga's stories where they had to save this,
Wearing the thief outfit, press
they
the
had to save
R2 button to
a
activate your
girl
ability.
who was not possessed
Plus,
by
press the triangle
a
button to use that sword.
horror, but more like just being held prisoner inside their body, the horror's body. They went inside themselves to save the girl. And when they came back out, it was the Garo armor for a split second, then changed back, revealing that
Who is this
uh,
little pipsqueak?
The woman
Really
was inside,
bad.
Identify
was inside the
yourself
armor.
immediately.
yes,
me,
with
delivery
the
boy.
user. And I'm just like, okay, so
Don't
it's this
recognize
way,
your scruffy
and it's that way.
features.
Which is
The
it,
other boys
Makai
out to
Knights?
seek, there's something about the snake bites.
Yeah, I'm calling
Is there
bullshit.
something wrong?
I think it's just I think it's just
No,
Japan
I've
being-
been talking like this my whole life.
How droll.
I see.
It took us how many years to get a
If
female
you're
Kamen
really
Rider?
the delivery person, then you will
Um,
use the usual orders, no?
Excluding
What
or
food
including
does the
tackle?
panther require?
Excluding,
Why,
because she
the
never
Panther loves the
never got the
scorpion
name
claws.
Kamen Rider.
He appears to be legitimate.
Fair enough.
Even in Kamen Rider
Here are the
Spirits,
delivery locations. Hurry up, please.
like Stronger said that she
Why
never
is it
wanted
good
to
thing
be
we're in
a
Arabia?
writer. She
Because
wanted
in Italy, that
she
accent
wanted
would
to
be
live a normal
considered
life.
a felony.
So that's
Now
how
let's go rescue
she'll
those
be
thieves.
remembered as someone who wanted a normal life, not a writer.
Yes, the one joke they had to bring back from Slide 3. I can't believe that worked! You have the worst Italian accent I've ever heard!
Was it Kamen Rider Feme in Ryuki?
Yes. That was 2003. The series started in 1972, I believe.
1971.
1971. So, yeah, a lot of years before we got a female writer. And even then, she died. She was a movie-exclusive writer who died.
Honestly,
Because her man wasn't there to protect her.
I'm gonna point this out because Transformers had a similar yet bizarre journey here. There was originally planned to be more female Autobots already there in the 1984 cast, namely Ratchet.
excuse me?
Hasbro nixed this because they didn't want to confuse guys by having girl characters in what was supposed to be a boys' toy line. when we eventually got, like, and bear in mind, the 1986 movie eventually did start production some way through season 1, and this included a character we call RC, one of the most recognizable female Autobots. The only reason they included her was because the production staff actually had to fight for her inclusion, one of the head staff making a very valid point to Hasbro that his daughter loved the show. And even then, it was quite a while before the female bots became a more regular thing for the series as a whole. And honestly, there's still kind of an issue with equal representation there, but at least they're learning.
I remember hearing rumors of this Power Rangers movie. I'm not sure if they were true or not, but I remember hearing the Blue Ranger was a girl and also the leader.
I don't even know what movie you're talking about.
Okay, Salim. We know
It's
that
like
Decimal
some sort
has the Panther somewhere
reboot
in that tower.
movie.
Trying to go through
I'm
the
not
towers
sure.
himself would be
It was a
impossible.
while ago. It was when I was like
Luckily, this carpet shop
10
is
or
going to
6,
save
I
us
think.
the trouble.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that might
Oh,
have been
bullshit
bullshit.
for that.
Carpets.
But,
He owns
yeah.
many shops, but
Like,
he's not so honest. Trust me.
I'm just sitting here looking at their excuses for not including more female bots in the
Kinda pressed
80s,
for time here.
then looking at
Please
running at the same time,
No,
G.I.
it's
Joe
not
line.
digress. The shop is connected to the tower. There's a vent system on the side of the
That had at
building.
least
All
two.
you have to do is crawl through the vents, and it will
One on
lead you
each
straight
side.
to the shop. From there, you can make your way through the shop's interior.
Later
to
they
the
had
tower.
I believe there were more women working with the Joes than with Cobra.
I would
Yeah.
like to see you crawl through vents when you are my age.
Talk to you inside the shop. Good luck.
But yeah,
And then you get this weird little bit of continuity from season 3. There's a character by the name of Marissa Fairborn who works with the Earth Defense Command, essentially what Nest and whatever her in the movies is trying to be. These were effectively the Earth's defense force working with Autobots to keep the Earth and surrounding planets safe.
EDF, EDF, EDF.
So, this character, Marissa Fairborn, is canonically the daughter of 2 G.I. Joe members. I just can't remember their names off the top of my head.
I know who you're talking about, and I also can't remember their
Wait,
names.
this room doesn't match my blueprints.
I think one of them was
renovated
Flint.
recently. Give me a minute to figure this out.
I think one of them was Flint and the other was Lady J, I think.
I think that was it.
Expect the unexpected, foresee the unforeseen, predict the unpredictable.
Keep your turban on.
Like, either way,
My sonar
that
readings
happened.
show an old passageway through a cave system beneath the floor.
I'm just finding myself amused. Like,
Let's see. Massive
yeah.
zero, angle of incidence, relative humidity
And the
divided
reason
by
they
two.
didn't include more female characters in the comics at first is
If we can
because,
move that pallet of
well,
carpet to the corner, it should smash a hole in the floor straight through to
they
the cavern
legit
below.
operated under the idea that Transformers are technically genderless despite using male pronouns.
How about we just talk when you reach the passageway?
Which, while technically correct, as they are robots, well,
Why did it have
that's a can of cyber worms I don't want to open.
Two words. Giaxis and RC.
I'm dead.
That's the IDW comics, and I'm not going anywhere near there.
How come?
Funny enough, same writer.
So basically, the idea was that RC, who is prominently a female Autobot, was originally a male Autobot that was turned into a Fembot by Giaxis.
Okay.
Only I had a magic.
The original version of the story, before it got retconned, had this be a forced operation that the Axis did for the lulz that drove RC into a murderous psychopathic rage. Later, retcon attempted to suggest that RC had actually volunteered for the procedure, and the side effects are just something they hadn't accounted for.
Yeah, because
I don't know which one is worse.
Yeah, neither do the Transformers fans. We're just kind of going,
we're just going. We're not going to talk about that.
It's why we're happy that Planet hits like, what was the name? Exist.
Oh no! I just stuck my hand in.
They later introduced planets like Caminus and Velocitron, where male and female bots exist naturally.
In fact, Caminus was exclusively female bots.
Shall I bring you back?
No, they actually do have some male bots. They're actually the rarity on Caminus.
I'm trying to cut back.
So, like an opposite of Cybertron.
Yes.
More or less.
Yeah, I think... So in terms of Kamen Rider, we would usually just get female riders in movies. It wasn't until... No, Thighs, I think. We did have female riders, but they weren't around for long.
Keep going, Celine. The tower entry point is just above your current position.
Then in Hibiki, we got
Celine, you're in. Now you just have to make your way to the
we got
top
a
of the
female
tower.
rider named
Of course, climbing. My
Shuki, who
favorite.
I don't
died
know
in the
that
same
point,
episode she
but
was
that
introduced.
lever looks worth investigating.
Sorry, what?
And be careful
Yes.
not to stir up the scorpion nest
Bruh.
here.
Also, there was another character named,
I'm just gonna add one last thing on the note of RC for how her depictions have been kind of hit and miss. In Japanese G1, there was a severe personality shift between the American-written Season 3 that Japan dubbed and the Headmasters cartoon that they produced. RC went from being more than capable in a fight, caring but strong, to I basically exist as a secretary and a mother figure.
Damn.
right. Yeah, that's Japan. I love Japan, don't get me wrong, but
And then there's what they did to Arachnid in their dub of Transformers Prime. They turned her into Pepe Le Pew. Enough said.
I feel guilty for starting this conversation.
Anyway, back to Ryder.
Point being, Japan seems to have some weird ideas of what to do with female characters in their media.
Yeah. In Hibiki, one of the main riders, Hibiki, had his own apprentice who was a girl, training to become an Oni. However, she would later steal her teacher's transformation device, turn into an Oni, and try to fight the demon that killed her family, only to fail.
Thank yous once again for this most excellent.
I believe Ibuki or someone else killed the demon, and then
Oh, Cobra's
the
in
Ibuki's apprentice later quit. Also, someone's in the chat.
consistently bad use of female writers in Kamen Rider and Toku in general. That's what you missed.
Yeah, it wasn't until technically Kiva that we got a female writer that was not written out of the show or killed. But they also they weren't that writer for very long because they found a primary user for that writer pretty early on. Trying to think. Wizard did have a female writer in the show, but they did so little with her that I honestly forgot she even existed. And then let's see.
Honestly, the whole three of them, I would not mind seeing a V cinema of those three specifically.
With upgraded suits to match their inner phantoms.
Yeah.
Just a little further.
Let's see. So in X-Aid you had two female writers.
In a kind of hypnotic trance. The strange sonic frequency
Commander
modulations
Poppy.
emitted by that device are causing it.
And then,
I've seen this
actually
type of
technically we
thing
had more than that,
before
but
on a mission
we had,
in Prague. But this is on a whole new level.
I forget her name, but she was like an ace player.
It's genius.
I play Nico.
Evil
Yeah, Nico.
genius.
She became a ride player,
Now,
which was
we
sort of
just
like the
need to
rider
disable
trooper
the device before freeing
of that
him.
series.
But we
But
have
she
to
was still
proceed
pretty good.
carefully, or we risk turning his brain into jelly.
What is this?
But again, they
Oh,
weren't given a whole lot of focus.
Baba Ganoush or hummus. Exactly.
Most of Kamen Rider Poppy's time as a writer was spent being brainwashed by a monster based off dating sims.
Great, Celine. I'll take it from here.
Yeah, kinda. I didn't like that one, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Just a couple more days and then I'll have, like, just an entire month to go before my Optimus Prime gets here, and I'm excited for that. Just on a random tangent.
I'm trying to think of when we got, like, not necessarily a primary female writer, but like.
Whoa, that was electrostatic repulsors.
Oh, Valkyrie.
Don't forget Tsukiyomi.
Tsukiyomi was at the end of the show, though.
That is actually true. I'll give you that.
And she would, like, she transformed and then got one shot.
Kind of sad that the game we're playing basically has more female writers that are both treated better and generally more competent than we've seen so far.
Yeah, well,
okay, maybe not necessarily more competent, but just treated better.
yeah. Well, the thing is, like, eventually, like, I want to say starting with 01, we started to get, like, better female writers. Valkyrie eventually kind of fell off halfway through because she was being used by an asshole. Like, and she stopped being a writer for a while and only got her powers back, I think, during cinemas. But, What was the season after 01? Saber, right?
01 Saber, yeah.
Yeah, that one did not have.
That one didn't have a
We're
good track
not
record.
going to talk about Saber.
There were two female writers in there. One of them was a bitch, and the other was Sophia. And I don't have anything bad to say about Sophia, but I don't have anything nice to say about her either.
She exists.
Pretty much.
Honestly, I forgot she was a writer.
So did I. And then Revice was after Saber, right?
01 Saber Revive, yeah.
Revice is where things started to get interesting.
Revive, they finally realized what they were doing wrong.
We had a tertiary writer who was female, who was actually really good. Sakura, aka
Death Beach.
no, Kamen Rider Jean or John. She was actually really good, and because people liked her so much, she eventually got like an upgrade, like super form.
Are you alright?
Or final form.
Oh, my head.
And we got another female
You
writer
have
in
been
the form of
imprisoned,
Kamen Rider Aguilera
hypnotized, and
after she got a
compelled to
pretty
create forgeries by
decent
that evil elephant.
redemption arc.
But I have freed you from her mesmerizing beauty.
Oh yeah,
With, you know, some assistance.
Aguilera,
That's nice.
the,
Among
the wife.
Web says, I wish to forget. Revice is good, though.
Yes.
Maybe some camel milk.
And then we have
I climb
Beat
halfway to the
Switch.
stars to rescue you, and you expect camel milk? I do it.
I don't think it's a good idea to try to recap every female Kamen Rider.
I'm only going to recap the ones of note. That being
Fair enough.
Nago, who is fucking phenomenal. Although I do not like how they kind of ended her whole arc of like she wanted to find true love, right?
Fair, I'm just gonna say this now, we've not brought to the arc yet. Web is here.
Damn it.
What? What's wrong?
Alright, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. Bunger?
Wait,
Bunger?
wait, what's going on? I'm getting confused. Bird is confused.
Because if I said anything more, it would have spoiled the web.
Okay.
Anyway, Nago is a fantastic writer. Great character arc until the end. And then there was... Oh, what was her name? The Wolf Girl.
Sai.
Sai. What was her writer name? I forgot.
Lopo?
Lopo.
Or is that one of the CDGP
No,
writers?
Lopo I think was her writer name.
Hold on. Because now I'm second guessing myself.
I do that all the time.
Sai was a great character for the short period of time she was there. And honestly, I wish they would bring her back into the show.
Why?
Because she was a good character. And then the final writer of note, the final female writer of note. Actually, no, wait, I forgot. There's two others. There's two more. So,
You missed the clue bottle before you started the whole zipline thing, if you're even bothering with those.
Although if I say the second, if I say who the other one is, it might be a spoiler for both Taro and Webb.
Yeah, I don't know anyone past Sai.
So yeah, I won't say her name. I think her writer name was Hakubi. She was pretty good, especially for why she was fighting. And that's all I can say. Now, the last writer of note, last female writer of note, is Kamen Rider Letter.
Oh, poor girl.
Now, this is not because they wrote a good character, or because her character arc was great. She is notable because she was introduced and died in the same episode.
Very, very brutally, mind you.
You exist to die.
She got overwhelmed by the fight, tried to run away with armed propeller.
Len says, huh?
Babe, remember the girl who wanted to lose a few pounds and find someone to love?
I'm trying to really get up here. That's the last thing I need.
She tried to escape with armed propeller, and then she got shot down by a
Huh?
fucking
All
cannon.
caps.
Oh my god. Remember, hold on. You continue, Bass. I'm gonna...
Alright. She got shot down with a fucking cannon, and then the Jamato literally just, like, beat the shit out of her until she died. Like, they were punching her, they were kicking her, they were hitting her with weapons. I think one of them was curb stomping her.
Hello, babe. Look at the end.
Obviously, Twitch is lagging.
Yeah. So it wasn't until Revice, technically, that we got a solid female writer, and that was 2001.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Wait. A year again? I'm sorry.
Revice was 2001, wasn't it?
Look it up.
We're in 2021?
Oh. Yeah, 2021.
Sam, I want you to repeat what you just said there.
2021. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go scream into my pillow.
Don't worry, we at Time Force get confused all the time. It happens.
There, like I said before, we need a coach channel.
Hey, the Guru staff piece. Nice.
You know what? While Verb is playing the game, I will
Check,
do just that.
please.
Should I just call it quotes?
Please.
That's all the treasure chests and all the safes. And yet none of them had a chocolate chip cookie.
When were cookies invented?
Well, to be fair, we're in the past. They probably didn't think to store cookies and saves yet.
Cookies. Okay, I can see Murray's from actually, let's do Murray's. Because there's a special somebody in Murray's mission, if I recall. Very special somebody. Don't ruin anything, guys. It's a surprise. If you know what it is, don't ruin it.
There
it is.
I made it. You can put all your
That's
Vegas
not
beer
Hippo.
quotes there.
The tiger is being held inside that taxi shop. My data shows the interior is
So the first
small,
quote
but
is
well
the
reinforced.
2001 quote.
Also,
I'm
there
dead.
doesn't appear to be any guards inside the
No,
building.
I'm
I think this one's
I'm
pretty
I'm
straightforward.
putting one in
You
right
and
now.
Sly go in through the front door. After that, your muscles should be enough to handle the situation.
No problem, Bentley. My mighty biceps are itching to go to work.
Send in the Tactical Hippo.
The tactical hippo.
Also, Bear got a new transformer.
I got 2. I forgot to show off the other one.
Oh my god!
What was this thinking?
That's Autobot Slammer.
Wow, he's right there. This
When
is
did
gonna
you
be
say
easy.
this,
Pizza
Bear?
from a
So
pig.
technically I
I
didn't.
think you mean candy, buddy.
Oh yeah, I love candy.
I was like mid-sentence.
I think we need to be careful here, Murray. Something feels...
And I got interrupted, and then someone took what I said and they just made that. World War II was big.
Damn it, Murray.
Whoa!
Murray! Look out!
Oh, yeah.
Yet another
That
fat
was
joke at Murray's
awesome.
expense.
Right, Sly? Sly? Where are you, buddy?
I'm over here, Murray.
Hey, Sly, where are we?
I'm not sure, pal. But it looks like we found the secret entrance to something.
We have Spec Ops, Hippo, and Batcoon.
Bentley? I think you're breaking up.
Sly, I don't think I can get over this wall.
Listen,
Yeah. I was
I'm
thinking the
pretty
same
sure there's
thing.
something wrong with my head.
And we seem to have lost the...
There's always something wrong with your head.
Bentley.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Because you're a bear.
Let's just keep moving forward.
Yeah, because I smashed my head against a lot of things around here.
Not around here somewhere.
I broke a history book over mine, so
Weird switch up
yeah.
here. I'm gonna give it a
Well,
try.
first of all,
Go
I didn't
for
do
it,
it
pal.
deliberately.
I'm kind of stuck right now anyway.
And that's where we differ.
I
There's
remember
a lot of times I did deliberately smash my head in this case because I got overstimmed beyond all reason.
I remember back in elementary school. Now this is the whole reason this whole reason dodgeball was banned from
Yes!
school.
The Murray
Someone
strength
decided to be a
knows
fun
no
idea
bounds.
to throw
Sly, there's
a
some
dodgeball
kind
at
of
me.
whirly blade
Here's the
gizmo in
thing.
my way. If I get any closer, it's gonna turn me into
They
Hippo
aimed, they aimed
Burger.
directly.
Let me see if I can do
They
something
had
for my
pinpoint accuracy for my nose.
Mm.
Ow. That would be
Hey.
ow there.
Listen, the worst thing that's hit my head was a bowling ball.
What?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
How are you alive?
How am I alive? I actually don't know.
Hey,
Like, was
hey,
it
hey,
just
hold on.
rolling?
I
Or
told
was,
you the story before, hun.
was it rolling, or was like, did someone actually throw it at you? Like, what happened?
It was a case of I was behind my friend at the wrong time.
Oh, it was swung at you.
No, they let go of it.
If it makes you feel better, when I was 5, I clunked the back of my head on a brick fireplace. And not just the flat part, but like the edge of it.
I smacked my head against a dresser hard. I got hit in the face with a T-ball. My nose got smashed by a kid's forehead. And then I hit a solid brick of ice with my forehead.
Ow.
And that's why I don't go skiing.
Yeah, that fucking sucked.
The closest I came to an accidental collision, because this was an accidental collision, so it was at my previous address, my previous residence here. Someone had left a cabinet open while they were searching for stuff and forgot to close it after they got it. I was heading back to my room from the living room and I wasn't looking where I was going. Collided face first with the thin side of a cabinet door right between my eyes. Thankfully, not very hard. I just kind of staggered back like, wait, what the hell? But still hurt.
I remember these, like, I remember my parents telling me these stories of when I was younger, and apparently I was terrible for this, but, I honestly, I don't know what was going through my head at the time, but most of us to God thought I was, Batman.
I am Batman. I'm Batman.
Because I would somehow manage to climb up stuff that would have been impossible for me unless I didn't use some sort of grappling hook.
No, Joker, don't do that. It's my Pokemon, Batman. I can do whatever I want with it.
Like,
Whenever I hear that copy pasta, my Vaporeon collection cries. So this one wasn't a head-on collision, but I did crash. So, a couple of years ago, Christmas Day, my family's prepping to go to Pennsylvania to see some relatives, and I'm taking some trash out back. It had been snowing pretty well, and the back porch had iced over.
Great!
I believe you see where I'm going.
My fists on that track.
As I'm trying to go down the stairs, my foot slips, and before I even process what's going on, I am on my butt, kind of basically buried in the trash bags. I'm in pain, and I'm just wondering what the hell happened. My tailbone hated me for the next week.
At least you didn't fall down the stairs butt first.
At least you didn't slip. At least you didn't slip and hit your head first.
I've also got lucky that there were only 3 stairs going from the porch to the ground.
I should take those cannons out first. I'll show those chumps how to use a cannon.
I remember there was a time where, like where I'm at, I don't get that much snow. We just literally just get ice, and it's like bad ice. So when it did sort of snow / sort of ice, I literally was in the neighbor's driveway and was like playing with some friends. I slipped and hit head first into the ice.
Too easy.
And these, okay, so I went on a trip with classmates back in elementary, and we went to this
Way to
sort
go,
of like
big guy.
park.
I'll meet you on the other side.
We, like, a group of us got onto, you know, those little, things.
Oh,
What's
nuts! Another one of those
They
annoying
spin.
spinny
You can
things.
hold on
I'll have to
them,
wait
you have
for
to hold on to
Sly.
them. They're not Ferris wheels, they're like smaller. Only
The carousels? Not
Sorry.
carousels? Or it's
I think it's something else. It's like,
Oh no.
hold on. You usually see them in
Why?
parks,
Come in.
like everyday parks.
Bentley, nice of you to join
I know
us.
what you're talking about.
Why? Are you and Murray all right? Something knocked out communication.
Basically,
Did you take a fall?
Sort of. It's a long
of my
story.
classmates
But are
thought
you
it'd be a good
seeing
idea
what I'm
to,
seeing?
It's
strap
amazing,
a
isn't it?
thruster onto their
It sure
back
is. I can't wait to.
Do that, you can't
and
touch
start
it.
spinning it
what?
with everyone holding on.
Why, if you touch anything, you're
I
going
could
to alert the
feel
guard.
my hands
Just
slipping.
stepping on those coins could do it. You need to leave this
Right?
treasure alone. And don't forget to use the leaves
I could feel my hands slipping. So I tried to get them to stop. Unfortunately, they didn't listen. So I was legitimately sent flying off the thing. And I hit my back against one of the wooden pillars holding up a slide.
Remind me when Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fell and then his back hit a car.
My back!
And that apparently fucked him up for
Henrietta One-Eye Cooper,
life.
the famous
Yo!
pirate. But not until the year 1660.
How the fuck are you here?
A number of anomalies to the time.
Wait, you motherfucker!
This is the only mission I know for certain where Clockwork is. Because it's relatively easy to find him. He's way on the open.
Besides, we know Clockwork's been alive for centuries, if not longer, by keeping himself alive via hatred. Is it really any surprise to find him lingering around any place there's an active Cooper because of that hatred?
Maybe. I like his design in this game. It's really cool. I like his little animation too. He's like, yeah.
No, what's really freaking weird is that this exact model, metal robot parts and all, is seen in Clan of the Cave Raccoon. Taken at face value, that means Clockwork's been a fucking cyborg since caveman times.
Which shouldn't be possible.
Unless, say, that Clockwork time traveled there.
That's what I was about to say.
All it takes is for Clockwork to somehow get rebuilt proper in the future using parts that were previously inaccessible. And then he just has to steal the time machine either from Bentley or Penelope.
My sword should cut these chains, no problem.
Though it does bring into question, what exactly would Clockwork want with time travel in the first place? He doesn't really seem the type.
I mean, if the guy hates the Cooper so much, why wouldn't he go back in time? Make sure they don't exist.
Because then that makes him not exist and leaves him in a paradoxical state of I won but I lost.
Also, that was a grandfather effect. Or similar.
He wants to destroy them as they are, not erase them from history. After all, if there are no Coopers in history and the only Master Thief is Clockwork, what really does that achievement state?
Forget it, Sharks! The Murray's not on the menu!
He needs the people he hates to be there for his achievement to have any merit in his eyes whatsoever.
That's the whole reason he kept Sly alive. Because otherwise there would be no...
I should take those cannons out first!
Because I wanted to prove that without your precious book, the Cooper line was enough. Or you could just choose not to talk about it.
It's something I think you'll like, actually. So, what I found was,
Did Web deafen?
yes. So
Okay.
what I found was something about
Sweet destruction!
the DGPA. Does it really come from the future?
yes.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
So that means that the people who run it are from the future as well, yes?
Yeah, the far future.
So, what it says here is that those people from the future are from the future where the world is destroyed, and they live in cyberspace.
I don't know about that.
Oh god, they're future Digimon.
No, as far as I know, like, the world's not destroyed, but, like, the way they live, like, they can pretty much plan out their entire life from day one to, like, day final.
That ship is starting to sink. Fly, that ship is definitely sinking.
Kind of like a simulator, yes?
I know where you're going. No, I do not think they live in cyberspace. As far as I know, there was no mention.
Huh. I guess we'll just have to find that out. Let me, yeah.
Speaking of Kamen Rider, though, I do have a question for Webb when she gets here. Webb's back? I made a final form for the Kamen Rider I have in the game. Would you like to see it?
Burrito eating contest. That's a bad memory.
I couldn't ride in
Are
the
you
bed
really
for
or
months.
built the general relationship to grow up a little bit?
Or I could just repost it.
I'm just seeing the crack line over here, like, oh no.
Webb is, Taro's
in a completely obscene bad guy kind of way, of course.
Well, I wouldn't mind having one of these to control Murray's appetite.
According to my readings, it's too risky to just disconnect him. He might never come out of the trance.
You just have to scroll past the
so I can hack it and
edgy.
shut it off.
What was the thing you said, Latios? Edgy-tone?
You're just like, time for me to open up a can of whoop-asky.
Oh no. He's disappeared.
Dipward's twisted sense of humor.
There you go.
Oh,
The app crashed on me. Right
oh.
on the freaking picture.
So the same thing it did to me yesterday.
Gotta love that Draconicus' twisted sense of humor. Here, I posted the image. The reason there's so much May Crack mod in there is because I used that as one of my main references for the design. Edgy toe.
Speeder's laser loop would work perfectly on that switch.
Alright. Sorry. Repeat that again? Good. Someone came into my room.
Kazuto had an edgy face at some point, evidently.
When?
Not happened yet. In the future.
Oh, you're talking about...
In the future, when Felix has been eggified.
Eggified.
And Pastel.
I got forcibly rebooted.
I could have just said when Felix got Yoshi.
I rejected modernity and returned to egg.
Return to egg. But also...
Don't ask me to warn you, Eddie. I'm not that type of bird.
Thankfully, this unit doesn't need that kind of maintenance.
Yeah, Digimon don't.
If it did, I was not gonna let it sit on you because I'm not that kind of bird.
You don't need to. Just give the egg a warm spot and a nice nest, and there you go.
Like, put it on the window.
Need to use my shell code to get the data key. I better switch back.
And of course, when the egg finally does hatch, this is what pops out.
Shmuel. Why were you forcibly rebooted? Hold up.
I am a Digimon. That is effectively how I describe getting turned back into a Digi-Egg. I got reset. I got rebooted.
He died.
Oh.
Someone took a magnet and placed it on my head. Okay, that wouldn't actually work, but let's take... It fits the theme. I am, as a Digimon, a living map of data.
Data got corrupted.
The data got reset to a previous save state. Unfortunately, I can only do it once. If I take that kind of damage again, I will poof.
What killed you?
Lord dead.
Was this in the last session?
No, this is stuff they have planned for the future.
Oh, they have planned.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to ask, how many form changes do you have in mind for a spare for the bomb invider thing?
All right, so for you, it depends on how many different types of chocobos there are.
There are a lot of different colors.
Yes, and each one has like a different specialty, right?
It depends on which game you play, because I know for a fact that in Final Fantasy 13-2, you get different chocobos as prime
This
members.
motherfucker is the reason Felix got eggified.
And each
Yes.
color
Zed.
chocobo is
Lord
different,
Zed.
like a different class within Final Fantasy 13-2. So like blacks are saboteurs, greens are healers, purples are synergists, reds are commandos, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then the most strongest ones are usually are either
Sorry.
silver,
You'll have to take
gold,
that up with him.
and sometimes I think also the fat chocobo too.
I'm getting off by this girl.
So it all depends on how you want to do it. Like, you want to make it so like it's like the different chocobo colors are like the ones from like the class types from 13-2.
That could work.
Because you got to do it with that a whole lot of times because there are a lot of different colors.
I'll look it up when I have a chance.
Anyway.
Taro's character, Kazuto, already has a handful of different forms, but there's also some others that he will be able to have access to.
Like chocobo form?
Not quite.
Aw, I was having fun with a chocobo friend. I'm lonely
What-
as being
what did
the
you
only
say, chocobo?
verb.
He wants you to have a chocobo form.
I'm a lonely verb. I need a chocobo friend.
Well,
Oh my
that would also be a chocobo, but
Herb.
But I will be able to fly at one point.
Fly, this is going to get dicey.
Yeah, just
Security
fly.
has definitely been
As for
beefed up.
Latios,
Those
he
turrets are
doesn't
too
really
well
have
protected to attack directly. Ordinarily, I'd hack the security
many
system,
like
but that might take some time.
what he
and we
has
need
you've
to
already
hurry.
seen.
There's no telling when Decibel
His
might
ranger
move the
form is
line
lighter
again.
form than his
This may be our
Digimon
only
form.
chance.
So, what are you thinking, Bentley?
I think we need
I don't know
to
if
use some
it's super
smoke and
form or it's
mirrors. Minus the mirrors.
It is effectively both my
Use the
final
RC
form and my
chopper to
super
drop
form.
smoke bombs at strategic points,
As
which should
for
keep the turrets from seeing you. Then, since Celine knows
Because
this
that
city
form
like
is
the back of
effectively
his hand,
Felix reaching
he
Mega
can
level.
guide you to
Got
a
it.
secure location.
So
Hopefully he's had his nap today.
Just make sure you get to a safe
Or
spot
share
before
some
the
models.
smoke clears. Otherwise, you're gonna
They
be
don't
missile
really,
bait.
like, their riders don't really have other forms. But
Helicopter, helicopter.
helicopter,
I can drop smoke bombs with the R1 button. And boost my
their riders
speed
don't
with
really
the
have
L1 button.
other forms. But we could workshop something.
All right, Bentley, bombs away.
My glasses! They're all over me!
No, I still find,
See that one?
I still find it funny that
Look out below!
when Felix hatches
How
again,
do you like that smoke signal?
when Felix finally hatches, he's just gonna do that
Right
scene
on
from
target!
the Digimon movie.
The flying
like
Digimon.
Kazuto's walking out of the cafe.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Here you forgot this as the egg is starting to crack, and then Yukini Bodomon
Okay, so
comes out of the egg
we're
and then
on.
immediately jumps for Felix's
And don't
face.
fall behind.
Don't worry about me.
No,
I'll be right on your tail.
fair. No, what's gonna happen is Kazuto's long gone by the time Felix hatches. He's gonna be hunting down Zed.
Give me some.
Oh.
I actually would pay money to see the fight that follows because Zed is not to be trifled with.
Oh,
And neither is an angry commenter.
I have to reiterate, this guy's taken down entire teams of Power Rangers by himself before.
That'll smoke about.
And don't forget about the zombie buckle, he can keep coming back.
I will also point this out. He's done so when he wasn't even in his prime.
Look out below.
The Lord Zed will be facing is basically at the peak of his power.
But still,
Lord Zed past his prime,
No. You
took
mean
down an entire
wisdom.
team of Rangers, and threw Tommy around like he was a ragdoll on screen. Like, took down Rangers off screen, thanks to the comics. Threw Tommy around like a ragdoll on screen.
That being said, the zombie buckle could just keep bringing Kazuto back.
If at any point Lord Zed figures he could use you with that kind of ability, he will just straight up turn you into a monster.
I mean, you would already have the Jama buckle, so it would be pretty easy.
Like, this dude is one of the most powerful sorcerers in the universe, wherever he comes from.
Over me. Right on target.
He could brainwash you.
Why is he so built?
Oh yeah.
That's my question. Why is he so built?
I mean,
Because
he's made
Lord
of
Zed
Lord
was
buckle.
some magic.
Talk about a smoke break.
He's literally muscle in a suit,
Smoke about.
like, not even actually a suit really.
There.
Lord Zed, his whole shtick is he wants to be the most powerful in every aspect. Physically, magically, mentally. For a long time, the Morphin Grid was basically maintained by the balance between Lord Zed's evil and Zordon's good.
Yo, actually,
Open
Megamon,
sesame.
I just thought of something.
That outfit
What
makes
if
you
during
better
a
thief, Sly,
a
not a
fight
genius.
between
Now
Zed
why don't you
and
help me with this
Kazuto,
door?
Zed does turn Kazuto evil, but the reason Kazuto comes back is because of Felix.
Close sesame.
The face hug does something.
So you got lucky.
Yeah, I suffocated you to the point you passed out.
My eyes water.
Um,
Sorry for your
Alright, so I'm looking at the colors.
That
of your
decibel
clothes.
is
I have
really
a
cruel.
idea.
Well, unfortunately, that might be the
So your
lion's
default
sock.
color is yellow.
He always hated
That's,
green
so-
lenses.
that's the most
Oh.
common type.
Well, maybe she was just protecting her sense of smell.
Long before Felix ends up having to do this reset thing, he's going to start creating communicators for the team, having seen the issue they have with their cell phones not working outside their native dimension. So, the idea is the communicators will have been color coordinated to each person, which is why I started asking people a while back to pick a color.
Why did you pick yellow?
Gremlin.
So, for, yes, looking at these, I have a very good idea of the black chocobo would probably be your super. Okay. Gold will probably be your final. I think the first form you're going to get is which it says here they are generally magic masters and they are able to cross rivers and streams. Cannot walk. Yep. So this form is more suited for water combat.
A water-powered chocobo rider is probably gonna give Felix flashbacks. Remember how I lost my Zeo powers in this?
Oh yeah,
game?
water.
Oh.
But you would also be able to pass.
I basically fought a power washer and lost, man.
You'd be able to use magic attacks. Nothing specific. Just like general like magic attacks.
Power wash.
What happened was I fought a shark-themed rider with water powers, and at the time I was still in my Zeo Ranger outfit, using that set of powers. He used his finisher, I used mine. Mine lost.
His was essentially a power washer. It is a high pressurized stream of
This
water.
one actually hush.
So you would also have a green form verb.
That's for healing, I suppose.
Yes. It is not as strong as your base form, but you make up for it. Red will be your primary offense. Meaning, actually, it would probably be better to see this might be. Because this one's stronger overall.
What a hype! No wonder your processing stinks.
Black Chocobo would be your light form.
Looks like somebody's got her wires crossed.
And gold would be your final form, which would combine all of the specialties together.
Nice! That sounds more tight than a tiger.
That sound good?
Yep.
At some point, I feel we should show Chocobo the communicator thing just so he knows what he's actually using.
Is it shaped like a cookie? I hope it's shaped like a cookie.
Is it the same? Is it the same communicator from MMPR?
The same model, yes. They use it from they use that model from MMPR through Turbo.
You brought me many delicious snacks.
What is with you guys and all the food?
Salim, who is this insolent pup? Oh, don't worry about him. He is a friend who helped rescue.
Sounds like a Rolex.
In fact, he is my assistant.
Assistant? What are you talking about?
Why? Play along. It's better if less people know what's going on anyway.
Great. It's gonna be a long day.
Oh, and don't forget what's left of that device slide. I'm almost done with a little invention of my own.
Nah, I'm still imagining how the if they ever get to the Geats world, I'm just imagining how that would play out.
Just imagine you get to see your score for the first time in ages.
And it's in the billions.
And it is like so ridiculously high. And there's just little montage clips of you interacting with Felix.
I just imagine all the other DGP writers just looking at Casito.
I like Felix. He's a cat. I love to hug him and pet him and call him George.
And Felix will never answer to that.
But my character will still hug you and pet you. Because you're a cute little kitty.
That Felix will have to get used to, but he will get used to it.
Yay! That makes me
Either that or you have to get through Casito to get to Felix.
I am legit just a mascot. I am a mascot that is weirdly useful because I have a selection of skills that are actually, you know, good to have. Like being able to fix our respective tech.
I was trying to mouse the skill.
I don't know who you are or what you want. But Felix has a particular set of skills. He will use those skills to look for you. He will find you. And he will pet you. And you will pet him. And hug him.
Honestly, from how y'all talk about it, it sounds like Bob is a mascot. I'm gonna be real.
He was before I got there.
Bob is being replaced.
And the thing is,
Bob sharing his spot.
Bob's a nice guy, so he's not gonna be like all pissy about it.
The only time I've ever seen him get that level of angry was when I accidentally compared him to Thing from the Addams Family, and he flipped me off.
Yeah, it's because
I do not understand. How will putting an insect in their
I've been watching the,
at most it will just annoy
I've been
them.
watching these news
Not that kind of fun.
of
Small device that can transmit sound, so we can listen to her conversation.
it's called the boys memes, where basically
Homelander.
Look, don't
yeah,
worry
where
about
basically
the
something
fun.
happens
Right
and then it
now,
just
I need you to
slaps
find
on the
a way
title
to
card of
that
the
study where you
boys.
can let me in. I'll take over from there.
And one of them is from the new from Wednesday,
With your bug.
where Thing like shows up in like this guy's room with like a video call or whatever with Wednesday, and she says that's Thing, and then the boy's like, is he your pet? And then Thing, who's like on the table like this, just goes.
Mine.
Yeah, he's just like, eh. Really?
We're streaming. There are kids could be watching.
Okay, first of all, if they're watching this, then they got problems.
Okay, Celine.
Yeah, I remember seeing this animation
in Miss Decibel's office, but
of,
first we need to get her out of there.
of like
I
the Addams Family.
reprogrammed those transmitters she was using on your friends with
apparently
some new music.
Thing
Once you place them around the
was like
room and I
an
activate them,
irregular
she's gonna
human,
come running.
boy,
How do you know this?
but something
Because
happens
she happens to be a music
that,
snob, and I'm about to get
resulted
her a
in the
dose
boy's
of
death,
something she can't
that boy
stand.
became Finn.
Good old rock
Yeah,
and
I've seen
roll.
that animation
I
too.
do not care for rocks and rolling either. No, Never mind. Just get those
But,
transmitters in place.
yeah, no, like, the closest anyone has ever seen to Bob being angry is when he flipped off, Mekumon and when he pulled out a 1911.
This place needs a new librarian.
Behind the scenes, I have made jokes about Bob pulling out a Glock.
Nah.
Didn't actually
I wonder
happen.
if they have any good cookbooks in
When and if Custer gets the Magnum buckle, he's just gonna give Bob the Magnum 40X.
Maybe I'll try it. I think
Because one thing we all agree on is that by the end of this story, the bad guys will have found the cafe and invaded. So I made the joke, yeah, when the bad guys actually get in there, Bob pulls out a Glock.
Wouldn't Bob have a machine gun at that point?
Bob has many things.
Bob has the hacking vineyard.
Bob has whatever Bob needs for the moment.
Because Bob is amazing. All hail Bob.
The real boss of the cafe, who may also be the cafe itself, we're not sure.
Yes.
Yes.
It's fun. It really is fun.
Like,
Also, he makes amazing catnip pancakes, and I cannot recommend them enough.
Wait, catnip.
these chains would not hold them
Does
in.
Mekumon the cat?
No, I know.
All right, just one more transmitter.
Yes, there is always one more thing.
Mekumon is a cat, therefore catnip pancakes.
I'm more of a French toast person myself. French toast.
Some grass all greens.
Grecian greens.
After says Bob pulls out a Gatling gun because he's mowing down the weeds.
No, I find it funny that the second everyone wakes up, sees Costa in the kitchen, we're all just like, where the hell's Bob?
Getting drunk in the vineyard, where else?
assuming he can drink.
Why else would he have the vineyard?
To sell wine to customers.
Why did my
Fair
skin
enough.
be climbing? Why not
Also, Felix's sole remaining Zord may or may not also be hidden somewhere in that vineyard.
Perfect, Celine. I'll take it from here.
there?
Either
I
in
hope you are happy.
the vineyard
Just tell me there are
or
no stakes
unbeknownst to
Once I
Pazuzu,
activate
Bob
those
made an hangar
transmitters with my
underneath
darts,
the
Miss
cafe.
Decibel will be dancing to
That
a
teleports
different
with them
tune.
every time they go to a new world.
Well, no, because it's part of the cafe, so it's part of Bob. So yes.
Question is,
The
how
old
does
dart
someone
gun is ready
you know,
for action.
get to deploy, in a sense?
Bingo! Right
However,
on target.
Bob lets it, I guess.
That's a
In
question.
my mind, I always pictured like the roof of the cafe splitting in two, or just the cafe itself splitting in two, like. My brain is stopping. How the Go Buster Mecca would come out of the city?
Scorpions, get back,
Where
you
the building
bastard.
itself splits apart, revealing the Mecca within. Either that, or the area immediately in front of the cafe would split open and the mech would come out of the ground Ava Unit 1 style.
Transmitter's in that corner, but it's blocked. I need to find a spot where I can see it.
Going. I know.
Where you go?
I'm still sleepy.
Okay. Rest well.
Bye bye.
Alright, well.
See ya.
I cannot wait.
Now what? What's that?
Oh, gee,
should have known it was you hideous hoodlums.
Yeah, the guy, she turns around every time I do that.
You know, if you've got explosives set up, you can just do the same with your darts. Your darts are always synced to your bombs for whatever unholy reason. So, if you have explosive bombs set up, your darts are explosive too. I don't know if it'll work, but it's an option.
I can hear something scurrying around. I do wish Syl would hurry back.
God damn, you is thirsty, lady. God damn.
Oh, it's steady, Bentley.
Also, am I the only one who looks at this character and thinks they tried to fuse Ms. Ruby and the Contessa together?
A little bit.
What?
Yeah.
I need to get to that corner shelf to have a clear shot at that transmitter. Bingo! Right on target.
The more Hospital learns about Felix's Power Ranger side, the more this is gonna go. I'm not gonna even bother trying to figure this out anymore.
Transmitter's in that corner, but it's blocked. I need to find a spot where I can see it.
I can only imagine what'll happen when he starts to bring up the antics of his version of Vulcan's skull. A Gotsumon and a Pumpkinmon.
Oh, no. No, don't bring that episode back. Oh, damn, his members already.
They're alive in this timeline, so there's that.
Yes! A direct hit! Alright, now I just have to activate those transmitters and get this party started!
Guys watching Blazer?
What? What?
In the Cashew server, guys gonna watch Blazer.
What, like right now?
Yeah, like both him and Lane are there.
Oh.
Screeching! Complete rock and roll!
Why do you think it's rock and roll? Rock and roll is amazing.
Must destroy.
Because it's a joke that all music snobs hate the freedom of rock and roll. Because they're old and out of touch.
She's making the ground shake like an
Oh.
earthquake. I hope your plan will work. Otherwise, I will be flattened like pita bread.
Great work! She'll never guess there's a bug in that statue of her boyfriend!
Right there. Am I out of touch?
Okay, Salim, the
No.
bug is
It's the
active.
children who are
Now
wrong.
make tracks. Stand back.
Yeah, I only use the Pokemon and Gotsumon thing for the moment because I don't know what else to make Bulk and Skull for my timeline.
I have an important
That's fair.
I will be giving a concert next week. Attendance is mandatory.
And the ending.
Huh?
Yeah, to my
What?
last performance.
You said something?
Not
I was
allowed.
gonna say, depending on what version of Kazuto, if they ever CDs, what version of Kazuto reads them, things can go very very good by Kazuto or very edgy
Thankfully, My universe's version of Bulk and Skull did not get caught in the explosion that sent Felix here.
Oh, thank God.
That I know of. That is entirely up to Bear if he wants to drag them in to work in the cafe or not.
If this is Zeo era Bulk and Skull, fuck no. Why? Because that was
I
before
want to remind you, Bear, that this version of Zeo has gone on for 6 years, so this would be more like in space era Bulk and Skull.
So not as bad.
Not as bad, no. These are the guys who openly said, we are Power Rangers to protect the actual Rangers in a crisis.
Okay, thanks to our bug in Miss Decibel's office, we now have all the information we need. It appears she has been producing counterfeit documents for the Paradox, creating a false family history that will make him an esteemed member of royalty in the present day.
Bulk's actually will eventually become the Hyperforce Yellow Ranger in another timeline,
If we allow him to get away with this, his wealth and power will make him untouchable. I believe he is planning this to be his last and greatest caper. The key to stopping him begins with us getting through that security door of the lamp shop. I haven't been able to discover what's behind it, but we know that's where Decibel will deliver the papers to the Paradox. However, since we don't want to announce our presence, we need a diversion for the guards. So I've taken the liberty of fashioning an outfit for Carmelita, who will use it to lure the guards away from their posts by performing a belly dance.
Sort of like
What?
Final Battle time.
Oh no, this.
I'm sorry I didn't ask, Carmelita, but you're the only one who can pull this off.
Bentley, I could do it.
I am not getting into that outfit.
I realize it's a bit revealing, but think of it as going undercover.
Bentley?
Okay.
I'm positive the Murray could
Wait,
squeeze
yeah,
into that
guys.
thing.
Hey, Carmelita, you should model that outfit for us to make sure it fits.
Shut
Hi,
up,
there are
Ringtail.
children
I'm
watching.
only doing this for the team.
Listen, silk is very elastic.
Okay,
All right, let's
so like
move
how
out. We don't have any time to
Vlad
waste.
once said, Felix got sent half, like all the way across the Toku multiverse to the.
By an accident of technology and magic.
Magic.
Yeah. How did Kazuto get? How did Kazuto get there? Is my question.
So remember what I said when
Well, I have an idea, but it depends on how far her Bear is willing to let this excuse stretch.
Go on
Okay,
with
Carmelita,
your thing, Bear.
we need
I
you
was
to
gonna
distract
say,
those guards and get them away from that
for-
door.
Kazuto,
Yeah.
remember
What's
when
the move,
Dr.
Carmelita?
Callan was getting ready to face off against Graphite?
We're counting on you, Carmelita. Meet us inside.
Remember
once
when I
you can lose
said
the
like as
guards.
they started fighting there was a
You owe
sudden
me big
crack
time
in
for
space
this.
and time? And you
I remember that.
yeah, that's how you got here.
I know, but what happened in the Geeks world for that to happen? Just one person.
Over here, you dumb knuckle draggers.
So the crack opened.
Never talked about this.
I'm sorry, I think
Yeah,
someone.
when I rewrote this game, I took this sequence out entirely.
I'm sorry, I think someone on the staff really liked Carmelita.
They gave her jiggle physics, I don't think it's any question.
Anyway, continue, Bear.
When the crack opened, oh my god. Why is this a thing? On
I don't like this game
on
I am very uncomfortable by this.
on Callan's end,
Goodness
the crack
me, I
opened
don't
and
know
you
about
threw the
this.
chainsaw at Graphite, charging at him. On your end, you were getting ready to throw your sword at a Yamato.
Yeah, there's too many guards to take on head on. All three of them. Which Murray could take down in like 5 minutes.
Like on your side of things, you were throwing a chainsaw at Yamato when the crack opened, and you charged in through.
Ah.
only doing this for the money. The coins for upgrades.
I'm only doing this to pay my way through college.
Okay, one of us think that
I'm going to get Bentley back for this. Like, Carmelita legit says at some point in the sequence, I swear I'm going to get Bentley back for this.
Yo,
give me my college fund! Give me my college fund, damn it!
I can only imagine how she ever actually, like, she will make good on that. But how did she ever do it? That's what I'm interested in finding out. How does she get revenge on Bentley for
Give me
this?
this college fund, boys!
she replaced his wheelchair with a normal wheelchair. That's how I imagine she got even.
She replaced his laptop with a non-functional duplicate.
Come on. How many Cooper gang members does it take to open a door?
What was your idea going to be about this? Curious.
So, depending on how far Bear's willing to let this stretch, all powers come from the Morphin Grid, which has proven itself sapient before. The big-ass explosion of technology, magic, and Xeocrystal energy sends a ripple through the Morphin Grid that in turn displaced multiple individuals.
And I have had enough snakes and scorpions and climbing for 3 lifetimes.
I don't know about that
Someone
because
should watch over Carmelita.
Again, it depends on how far you're willing to stretch it. I honestly did not expect you to go for it.
yeah,
I think we can
because
handle it from here. You definitely earned your
freaking
retirement.
Star Squadron,
Go enjoy it. And
like
the belly dancing.
that would make sense, but for a multiversal thing, I don't know.
Also, you couldn't have had Carmelita dive through the door with you?
Now that is a plan.
This is definitely more than I was expecting.
Let's pop it.
An underground
Yeah,
docking
does
station.
does anybody have like a sewing needle?
No wonder we haven't seen that thing floating around.
What's our
All I've got is this exploding
Well, first
javelin.
we need something to distract those guards, so I can get to that control room. I whipped up a
And this convenient ballista loaded with dynamite.
leftover material from Carmelita's outfit, but I think it might work better here.
Finally! Just
All
point me
I
in
have
the
is
direction
sharp
of the
rock.
changing room and... What the...
Perfect!
I can use the security cameras to guide the RC car.
Go, Ralph, go! Come on, little mouse cars! The best just ahead!
I'll get you.
I just need to stay ahead of these guys!
Come back here. I should get a...
You're gonna catch me. You're gonna catch me.
I just need to stay ahead of these guys!
Aloha, idiot.
Hello, slowpoke! Now where is that power? Hey, even the best have security? Scorpions too? This is ridiculous!
Steady, steady.
Ready? Fight.
Ooh, that's how you do it.
Yikes, I'll need to take out those fans to keep going. That's one man down.
he does it. Yeah, I'm just going to reiterate, whether or not Bulk and Skull show up depends on how Bear feels about what he can do with them.
There it is. Time to shut it down. Stay on target, then. That's goodbye power supply.
Bulk, come on.
Let's face it, Marcus and Eugene can be a bit polarizing.
Time to show this security set.
Oh god, no!
And for those who don't know, yeah, their names are Farkas Boltmeyer and Eugene Skulovich. I'd go by Bulk and Skull too.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest.
I hate
feel
this.
like-
I hate this so much.
I feel like after that in-space episode, they kind of just reverted back to the way they were.
Jake? Who's that?
Hey,
That's somebody else.
Adrian. Hello.
Hi, Professor.
Poor man's Aladdin is actually Neff's Aladdin. Well, yes. It's the only thing I could think of for the title. But hello, welcome to the stream. Usually I'm the one playing, but
I hate these segments so much.
today my friend Chocobo is playing. Because he loves Sly Cooper.
Come on. Where's the nation? There you go.
Also,
Endless Loop!
Also, we are joined by my two unpaid interns, Nekumon and Taro.
Hello.
Greetings! Welcome to the tutorial. Yes, I know you want to get on with things, beat up the bad guys, do the whole superhero thing, blah, blah, blah. Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. Now, first jump and press the circle button, and let's see how things go.
Tacos.
Hello, from this stage forward, you are a Kamen Rider.
Password way too easy. Overriding security, power grid rerouting, accessing user network, PC load letters, shutdown in 3, 2, 1, yes.
Ah.
At least you missed the most awkward dancing sequence ever.
I'm not sure. I must have tripped some kind of fail-safe backup. Hold on a sec.
Murray, we can't wait on Bentley. We won't get past those security
Oh
cannons
god,
until those
stank
rats are
lasers!
serious. Murray, remember to use the circle button to stop and pick up things. Use the square button to toss those rats, pal.
Time to kick some floating butts!
I destroyed two baby turrets.
Nice arm, Murray. Great, Murray. Keep it up.
The Murray is a machine!
Backwards compatibility.
Ah, the three musketeers. One
I don't know
step
that game bar.
behind as
Game
usual.
bars.
May you never
Yeah,
change.
the whipped cream, the
And may
whipped cream,
you
whipped cream,
always
whatever
stay
it's-
downwind.
Whatever the fuck it's called in Bill.
Ah,
Oh, that's the
cool,
good
man.
part.
You're so pathetic. You don't even realize you've already lost.
We haven't lost yet, but Paradox.
Oh no. Bonjour, my large friend.
What happened?
What took you so long?
Oh god.
drat! Celine!
Hello, Cyril. I found this filthy scoundrel unconscious outside.
Never mind.
Actually, he's yesterday's trash. Precisely why I threw him away.
But I don't understand. I thought you were after him.
You're right. You don't understand. I don't care about that old bag of bones. Just his cane. Which, as you can see, I already have.
Dun dun dun.
Double drat!
The plot
Well,
thickens.
good. Then our deal is complete.
And that's not the only thing he has.
Hold that blimp.
So sorry, Shelly. But with Monsieur Cooper here, I am afraid the schedule has changed, and I must make my exit now. I cannot risk that flea-bitten rat ruining my plans.
Oh no, he's escaping. Whatever shall we do? No, seriously.
Backstabbing skunk backstabs again. And people wonder why I hate spies.
What do we do?
Wait, Cyril, wait for me.
He's got the cane!
He's got the documents! Sly, if they return to the present and the Paradox establishes a royal ancestry for himself, all of our futures are in peril! You've got to stop them!
How's Celine?
I tried to stop him.
He'll be fine, Sly. Right now, you've got to stop that pachyderm!
Come on, like stink on a skunk.
Hello, Cooper. How do you like my new toy?
Bold of you to assume he hasn't at least broken a rib.
This is your fault, Cooper.
Wow, that's kind of impressive that she can do that. That she can blow her trumpet so hard to the wrong way.
Orchestrate your
Probably a couple
demise.
tons at least.
Even the thing is when Godzilla lifts himself off. Still one of my favorite things.
To release an album.
Godzilla.
Look out, she's got a job!
This is your funeral march.
I'm gonna have to make a Gojira mod now just to say my miscellaneous Zeo Rangers have fought one.
That's so common right here. That's so common right here.
Watch out!
Kamen Rider
This
Goji.
song is really giving.
Yo.
Those energy cores are deadly, right? Stay away from them!
You might have.
You'll never make it, Cooper!
Who knows? Maybe that's one of Kamen Rider Ursa's alternate forms. Goji form.
Or perhaps you may encounter another universe with a particularly angry rider whose rider form looks like an angry lizard.
Yo, actually, fun idea for that. When a writer can act, it looks like it's gonna be a totally friend, but he then just looks down at his leg.
This is your funeral march.
Infuses the energy from the atomic breath onto his leg.
No.
Then does the fighter kick.
He looks down, launches himself up with the atomic breath,
Wait for me.
and then does that, and does the rider kick.
When you're dead, I'm going to add it to my...
I was going to guess he has a tail he slides on to deliver the kick.
Me and I can deliver it in person.
I can hardly wait to get my hands on your cane, too, Cooper.
Yo, a new Rider world has now people.
Early stopped me. It takes too long.
World unlocked. Map extended.
Just sit on him, Cherry. Cherry?
has the ability similar to Commander J, where he can become giant.
I should have known better than to work with an elephant. They have to remember everything.
Dream on.
I wonder if Cazador would bother hunting that, actually.
It's not a Zord.
But it is a giant animal thing.
True.
A giant beast worthy of at least a decent challenge.
Got it. At one point during the game, when Cazador like finally emerges, Felix realizes that no giant animal like hero take a sword or a commander who become that big is safe anymore.
I'll squash you like a hairy bug.
Not only do they try and stop what's going on, they also try to keep Cazador from hunting.
Stop that swine once and for all!
If that makes what I'm saying makes sense.
One thing I'm just going to ask Bear for in this particular case, have Cazador reference slaughtering the Animarium at some point.
Okay.
Damaging my breath! Exterminate the rat!
Bear knows exactly what I'm referring to when I mention that. It's why this particular Zord Hunter has a particular hatred of soulbirds.
Watch where you're going, you stupid elephant! Exterminate the rat!
What's he got have against birds?
Soul birds. They're a specific type of bird. Gallery.
Soulbirds are compelled to heal things, but they're also what ended up ending his hunt on the Animarium in the first place and setting him running.
They're birds found on the Animarium wild force and gallery. And like Lakio said, they tend to heal.
They heal and they strengthen, which is why the Rangers ended up using it as their default cockpit after obtaining it.
Defeat is inevitable, Kuba! Oh, this is unbelievable! Are you
Actually, I had an idea to run by you.
How?
Okay.
So, around, like, sometime around Endgame, Tasto faked joining the bad guys, conceding what exactly they're doing, and how exactly to stop it.
Cyril,
Like,
open the hatch. Let me
he
in.
pretends to be, pretends to have done
You see, we have
bad for
already
real.
reached maximum weight capacity. Perhaps due to my beautiful new guest? Carmelita!
I was wondering if that would be allowed.
Me, you noxious windbag.
Maybe. We'll have to see how
We
things
had
go.
a deal. I made you
Right.
documents, and you promised me the lost masterpieces. Mozart, Beethoven, romantic nights on
The sheer disrespect on this man.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for my papers.
Someone should
Have
introduce
worked out between
him.
us. I'm just not
Someone
used
should
to
introduce
no
him to
sacrifice for your music.
uh,
How can I
a
put this?
certain badges.
Stinks worse
worse
than
than
I
I
do.
do.
Why, you filthy, backstabbing, two-timing scoundrel!
Flattery will get you nowhere. And as for you, Cooper, don't even think about trying anything. Otherwise, we're going to find out if your girlfriend can fly. I don't see any.
Whoa! Whoa!
Touch me
Whoa!
again and I'll
Whoa! That was
break
uncalled
your
for.
arms.
That was
uncalled for, Cyril. That was way too uncalled for.
Don't worry, Carmelita. This
Wow.
You can even see on Carmelita's face how little she appreciates that.
I believe that's called sexual assault right there. She could file a restraining order against you for that, dude.
She could arrest you. She's Interpol.
Au revoir, Slade Cooper!
For that matter, she's already got enough on you for assaulting and capturing an officer.
And art forgery.
Multiple counts of theft,
Yeah.
attempted murder. Arguably actual murder in some cases.
We may have stopped Miss Decibel, but it meant absolutely nothing. We were on the ropes. Le Paradox had beaten us every step of the way, and he held all the cards. Carmelita, my ancestors' canes, and now his fake pedigree. I couldn't remember a time since we teamed up that we felt so defeated. And talking to Dimitri didn't help. He was freaked out and yelling about having to boogie down in Skunk Town. So as usual, his words made little sense. But the message was clear. We had to get back home fast. We may have been down.
Also, this game commits the unforgivable sin of not letting Dimitri speak for himself.
The lives of everyone we cared about, not to mention the very future of our existence. No matter how,
Dimitri's a fan favorite. That's the reason he's even here.
As we roared back through time to Paris, I knew we were in for the fight of our lives.
And they don't let the greasy, sweet lounge lizard himself speak in his own voice.
Greasy, that's not greasy sweet, and that's not greasy sweet. Not greasy sweet.
I have no idea what you're
We
saying.
finally made it home
And
to
your
Paris,
suit sucks.
only to find a place we hardly
Let's
recognized.
dance!
It was obvious Le Paradox was now in control, since his face
I
covered
see
the
you're a
city
fan of
like a
culture as
bad
well.
rash. The only positive was that Bentley was able to dig up a lot of dirt, including the fact that Le Paradox was from a family of thieves himself. And then we made a major discovery. I knew that my dad's heist of the world's largest diamond had made him a legendary thief. But
And
what
the
I
one
never
and only
knew
time we
was that
actually
Le
get to
Paradox's
see
father
Sly's
had planned to
dad's
steal it
face is in this
first,
stylized
and
stuff.
frame my dad for the crime.
That's a big ass ruby.
Only he was a little too slow and got himself caught instead. With his father gone, the Paradox had
Cooper,
no one to
everybody.
teach him the family business, and after a string of failed jobs, he wound up in prison too. It was here,
Young
ironically,
Cooper
that he
makes-
finally got
kinda
his
gives
criminal
me, like,
education.
Major, like,
After his release, the Paradox
Like, I
maintained the
imagine he
appearance
was
of a
kind of a
law-abiding
dick
citizen.
when he was
In
younger.
reality, he used his prison
when he got
contacts
his
to
dick-
form his own syndicate and began masterminding
no.
heists
Yeah, don't go
worldwide.
there.
Yeah, not gonna go there.
These days, he traveled the globe as a billionaire art collector,
Let's
while
just
his
say
real
Barrett's life,
business was the
turned-
trafficking of
because he got
priceless
married,
stolen
he turned his
treasures.
life around. Let's go
Clearly,
with that.
he blamed the Coopers
go
for his
with that.
family's past misfortunes.
Keep it
and his
PG
plan
for
Also, he
Lascaux.
took
wipe
up
us
smoking
out
at some point.
completely. I had to find a
And
way to
that
do
is
this.
a no.
First, I had to rescue Carmelita.
As you can see, every time Sly's father was referenced or shown in some capacity in the previous 3 games, there's a pipe somewhere involved.
It's always the pipe. Maybe it's a hit. Or, more importantly, a theory. A game theory.
No.
What? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there because I know you hate that.
All right, we all know this is our last shot at stopping
Not
Le
lying.
Paradox
Not
and
the
rescuing
full time,
Carmelita.
Burr.
Currently, his
I'm
blimp
a
is
burr.
docked outside the museum. I can't pinpoint Carmelita's exact position, but I believe she's being held somewhere near the
And thus,
loading bay.
with this final
Why,
chapter,
there appears to be a
we get
utility
to quite
hatch
possibly
on
the
blimp's
biggest
underside that
rewrite
will
I
get
made
you
for this
inside.
game.
You can use one of the
What's that?
mooring lines to reach it. Once
I
you're in,
turned
try
this
to gather
entire
as much
chapter into a
information as
Fly
you
2
can.
style
But remember, we'll be
challenge
right
gauntlet
behind you,
with
so
his
don't do anything
everybody
rash.
even remotely
Hurry,
involved in the
I need
Cooper
you to
gang
get the van
pulling
ready.
jobs in
We're gonna
pairs.
need backup for this one. So first,
Mixing
you
up
and
the
I are
pairs
going
is
on a
to
little
get at
recruiting
the
trip. Then we'll rendezvous with Sly
get
inside the
the
blimp and
jobs
figure out
done.
our next move. Okay, I realize it's not the most elaborate plan, but it's the best we've got. So everybody watch your backs, and let's go take that skunk down once and for all.
Yes, because the sooner we take down the Paradox, the sooner Baron and I can take down...
I'd also not allow Carmelita to get captured in the first place, because that capture really wasn't necessary to get the guys to chase him. So...
You know it's a setup.
I know, pal.
The sooner
I don't
we
have a
defeat
choice.
the Paradox,
Just
the
get her as
sooner
fast as
Baron
you
and I,
can.
more specifically Bear, can stop the evilness of Jojo Mart.
Carmelita!
Sly! No!
Is this, endgame?
This is the final chapter of the game, yes.
I knew you could not resist, Cooper.
And we're creeping on to the what would have been the cliffhanger ending if we'd bothered 100%ing this game.
I'm gonna kick that stripe right off your tail.
Yes, yes.
Of course, I don't really care about getting 100%, but the only
As I
game
say,
I ever
the
do 100% is 2 because it's the easiest.
You're afraid of
I
a
don't really care
bear
about the
fight,
mask or
coward?
anything,
No, I
because
don't
they
think
don't really
so.
do much.
I have something
besides
special.
unlocking the lockers and
It
all that
is,
stuff.
how do you
I
say,
don't care.
a going away party.
So, first off,
Listen up. You all
in
know
my
right
rewrite
here,
of this
you
game,
have to find
I'm
your
going
cave
to
and get
acknowledge
back where you belong
the
now.
what I said before about removing the belly dancing minigame entirely. Instead, we have a sniping mission with Carmelita using a sleep dart mod for her shock pistol Bentley had made.
Ryoichi, you're up first. My readings show your cane is somewhere
So
in
you're
this room.
essentially putting guards down so everybody else can do the work they need instead.
Engineers, report to the bridge. It is time to calibrate the machine.
How about that? Whoops, I think it's right there.
Triumph. This one is for you.
Damn.
Always remember, safety first. Thank you.
I also have a little bit that I call bonus jobs, which are basically like little side missions you can do for extra completion points and further character development. Arabia was the last world before the finale, so it had two. One of Sly, Bentley, and Murray pulling a job together and reaffirming that brotherly relationship they have. The other being Sly and Carmelita fully reconciling at this point.
It is my pleasure, my most hairy ancestor.
I always did like Ryoichi.
Where are you? If you're not here in 30 seconds,
So here's how I described the final chapter here. The ending of the game has plentiful changes here. While Carmelita's in a better position thanks to the whole sniping mission and evades capture, the Paradox still escapes with Philippe's cane. Along with everything in place to fake his royal heritage in a short-sighted grab for power. The gang gives pursuit and finds the present has indeed been altered. I begins to feel that illness from the beginning of the game, which I had put in there to go, yeah, he can feel his existence basically being threatened. That illness for the game has grown stronger, and it has, since his history is being put in serious jeopardy. I'm gonna take a page from Sly 3's book and have Sly incapacitated for a portion of the finale. Right now, he's just fighting to exist. Another change that I made here was that the altered present is going to be a full world, like Sly 2 did with Arpeggio's blimp. Airship. Whatever. Point is, Dimitri is getting in on the action, much to Carmelita's dismay. Because I knew if I had this go on and Dimitri wasn't involved in some way trying to help, a part of my brain would throw a riot. But he has two good reasons. One is just plain self-preservation. Second, it took some serious guts and trust to leave Dimitri with the Thievius Raccoonus and the hideout to himself. That, on top of their history in Slide 3, leaves Dimitri feeling he's a part of the family and has a stake in this. Dimitri has what he's always wanted, whether he realizes it or not. A place he belongs. And he's not giving that up.
What can we do, Bentley? We can help
Someone was saying?
the ancestors get their canes, Murray, as fast as we can. Don't
I want
slow
to
down, bud.
I was listening. That's not the best. Oh. You thought someone spoke up.
No, that was me. I gave the little chuckle.
Okay. Dimitri's mission. Sorry. Proceed.
I like how Chocobo goes. When make him on ass. I like how Chocobo make him on ass. Just want to say something. I like how Chocobo just goes. I was listening.
Outstanding, bud.
Nice catch.
Looks like you're heading home now. Watch out for those penguins.
So, in this altered version of the game's finale, Dimitri's missions will fill the recon and sabotage portions of the level. He's learned a thing or two about sneaking around from that book. Hell of a page-turner. It turns out, Paradox has tried to use his new fake royalty to bully the world into giving him what he wants, but it's predictably backfired and left him branded a terrorist by multiple countries.
So great.
We're basically seeing the Interpol war in Prague from Slide 2 all over again.
Oh god, not that. Anything but that, please no.
For each mission after the recon, Bentley will temporarily bring one of the ancestors the player met to help complete a mission and recover another's cane, done in any order. Once the canes are recovered and the ancestors are sent home, Sly's history is secured enough to let him exist unchallenged.
Get going, Salim. We've got some planning to do.
This starts the final job, the quest to pay the Paradox back for all the grief. In the briefing of the mission, we get the history of the Paradox family trying and failing to copy the Coopers, ultimately getting caught every time and growing bitterly jealous. One or two might have tried to team up with Clockwork to predictable results. And I quote, "And the only master thief will be Clockwork." End quote. The final battle against the Paradox has him initially using some kind of mech, which is disabled after hitting 3 weak points.
Definitely earned your retirement. I salute your
Phase 2, he hides in a sealed-off pod while his airship's security tries to kill the player. The objective here is to survive long enough to force the Paradox to drop his shield and shoot at you. There should be some mechanic in place to reflect his shots to the supports of his platform, likely the samurai armor. Do this twice to knock him down to the arena floor. Phase 3, the Paradox tries to fight you with copycat versions of Sly's moveset and also Stink Blasts. Control shifts from Sly to the gang as the 4 of them set up a trap to take the skunk down for good. The segment is timed. Take too long and Sly will suffocate in the arena. Finish this phase and it's over. The final cutscenes play, showing the airship falling apart thanks to the prior sabotage and reclamation of the canes. The Paradox tries to escape, only to end up dangling for his life. He pleads for Sly to save him. Cooper's exhausted, physically, mentally, and emotionally, thanks to the events of, from his perspective, the last month or so.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound good.
Sly tells the skunk to save himself and leave.
Time is definitely of the essence.
Because at this point, Sly would be that level of exhausted, at least in my mind, he would be. This has probably been the longest month of his life, in every possible capacity. The Paradox manages to survive the crash, landing in a body of water and clinging to a piece of debris to tread water until Interpol comes to arrest him. Sly returns to the gang, and we've effectively got the ending.
That's impressive being able to survive an exploding blimp.
Once more unto the breach go I.
I mean, at this point, is anybody really thinking, oh, I wonder how this is gonna go? It's kind of already written on the wall.
I'm so glad I actually went back to that Mugshot's coin. Go west. Look at all these coins again. It's like a money back all from here.
You're getting close, guys.
I feel more richer than Ladio's
Those switches are
experience.
completely out of our reach. Tennessee, this looks like a job for you.
Because Ladio's has lots of life experience.
I've been itching to get in on the action too.
But yeah. Like, I completely went all out rewriting the last parts of this game because I really felt it needed it. I went through the whole game, but I only went over the last chapter or so because that's what's the most relevant right now. But like, overall, I changed a lot of the characterization and motivations for a lot of the characters to feel more in line with the previous 3 games because this game is Character Derailment Simulator 5000.
Featuring Dante from his Dominion Drugs. And through a game, he also plays his
Cavalry's a coming.
And no.
And it's sponsored by Great Shadows.
It's all up to you now.
Danger.
Also, if you don't feel the empty void of inevitable disappointment, money back guaranteed.
We're just kidding. We'll give you a free coupon, dude. We'll give you a free expired coupon to a restaurant that closed down.
The restaurant that closed down 12 years
The
ago.
old crack shot here. All right. I guess break time is over.
It is too late, Coopers. Your legacy ends tonight.
Well, looks like our goose ain't cooked yet.
Pathetic. Give up now while you still have some shred of dignity.
Oh, dang it.
Why do you persist in playing a game which you have already lost?
Nice shooting. Now let's find Sly.
Ah, alone at last. How cozy.
You want cozy? I'm going to throw you and all your
Like,
friends into
here's
the
an
same
example
prison cell.
I can give you guys.
But no.
I remembered Murray's character development from the original 3 games, and I kept that intact.
Just think of it as
Murray's journey is effectively over, so his role in this game is now more so than ever as the emotional center of the gang, helping them to reach their conclusions.
Look at this. My marvelous contraption.
He's sharing the wisdom he's accumulated over the years with them.
Penelope developed before her unfortunate failure. It's very much like the time machine, no? With one
In that sense,
important
Murray's kind of the MVP of this entire story because he's the one holding everybody together. And I couldn't think of a stronger person to do so.
Send you and your
I
Interpol
love that. I love
crew on
being
an
Murray like
endless
that.
honeymoon.
I love it that he's
Free
like a
of
simple
charge.
character into like
Bouncing
the
through
rock
time for
or
all
the
eternity.
clue
That's
of
if you
the
survive
Cooper
the
game.
trip. But
Either
either way,
being is just
I will
human
never
muscle.
have to
Glad
see
for that.
your irritating faces again.
You think this thing can hold me? Just wait until I get out of here.
Why'd you do it, La Paradox? Why the ancestors? Why not just come after me? What's the deal?
The deal? The deal is you, Coopers. You destroyed my father, and you almost got me. But not quite. And when I rebuilt myself, I swore I would erase the Cooper name from history completely. And so today, my revenge
you say that now,
will
we
be
would
complete.
kill you
It's
if
time now
you're
for you
saying
to
that,
go.
Cyril.
Bon voyage!
Just saying.
Sly?
Those are you filthy vermin!
Woo, wait! Cut that closer than a $10 shave. Reckon my time here is up.
Take care, Tennessee.
I will crush you!
I was driving the man.
agree it's the most disappointing final boss in any Sly Cooper game ever.
We all need to leave right now. That maniac just
I'd rather have the first two games' final bosses back to back with a half-dead controller than go through this.
Blimp could disappear any second.
Right, so there's no time to argue. Just go.
Sly.
Because this isn't a boss fight. It's a glorified quick-time event.
Yeah, I agree on that part.
Come, Cooper. I will teach you to fight like a gentleman.
And how would you know?
Ha! I'm going to save that Cooper tongue for last.
Of course, the guy dressed like a superhero goes past his bad guy.
I mean, this is his game.
Not as pitiful as that
I know, I was
mustache.
making jokes.
Like, see this? This is not a boss fight. This is a glorified cutscene.
It's too bad it didn't work for me.
It wouldn't have worked out. I'm
At this point, I have a feeling that they were just done with this game.
This game had a lot of problems behind the scenes going in, and with the unreasonable expectations of Sony at their throat, they didn't even get the campaign DLC they wanted.
Wait, there was supposed to be DLC for this game?
Yes!
I did not know that. Wow.
Yes, there was supposed to be DLC to pick up after the ending so you could save Sly from what's going to happen.
Wow. Why don't you take
Take it.
Unfortunately, because the game flopped and Sony panicked, that DLC got canceled. Just like the Sly Cooper movie they intended to make, and the animated series they intended to turn that movie into.
Looks like somebody just lost his temper.
There's something wrong with this stupid sword.
Stop playing with the sword. You know, get up and fight.
This cane isn't even meant to be used as a weapon, and I'm kicking your butt.
Get out of there, Sly!
Oh, Megapunk!
Oh, Mega
Where is
Bomb!
that little weasel?
I know it's difficult, Cooper, but try to keep up.
This thing is
Yeah,
coming
remember
apart.
the joke we made for Super Robot Wars?
Fall, and I won't get the chance to kill you myself.
Yeah.
So, before we finish this, let me get one thing straight. You came after the Coopers because of what happened to your father?
So before we finish this, let me get one thing straight. You came after the Coopers because of what happened to your father?
He's the greatest thief who
No,
has
you
ever
imbecile. I came after the Coopers to prove that Paradox is the greatest thief who has ever lived. Is there any doubt? Ask yourself, if the Coopers were truly the greatest thieves in history, and I have stolen their most valued possessions, then what does that make me? An idiot? You had it made! You could have been the biggest thief in all of time, but you just had to target my ancestors and blew your own cover. You exposed your operation because of your ego. No Cooper would have done that. And for the record, can you really say you stole the canes? It seems like your friends did all the real work. Thank you, Sly, for basically lampshading this for the audience.
We're gonna be pals.
Seriously, Paradox, you're trying to be the best. How do you think what would my working bird? Seriously. Oh, it's just sad.
I tire of this.
Also, I only trust stealing if the guy was able to get away.
Right there on top of your head.
And considering we stole those canes back from him technically twice,
That's a working bird right there.
Ready to meet your doom? It's time to end this.
I agree, but I'm not the one who's going down.
Oh,
winding up, and there's the pitch.
My plan was perfect.
Sorry,
And
pal.
all Sly had to do was walk away.
Just please help me.
Sorry, pal, you just can't plan for a Cooper.
You sound like a
Guess you
bitch
won't
when
be
you
doing
said
any
that,
fun.
Paradox. You sound like a bitch.
Well, I guess he won't be doing any harm from a prison cell.
So predictable. You won't get away with this. I'll find you.
Au contraire, Sly Cooper.
You won't get away with this. I'll find you.
That's not a promise. That's a death threat right there.
And consider what's about to happen here. This is why I just had him fall and survive. Well, Paradox survives this. Ding!
It's been a while since that night, but there's still no sign of Sly. Or that cursed blimp. The skunk could barely tread water. So by the time they picked him up, he was happy to see them. Word is he earned a special
He survived
cell in
that.
solitary
So at that point, the paraglider
where
wasn't
the only
even
thing he'll be
useful.
collecting from now on is gray hair. Both Paris and the Thievius Raccoonus were back to
Also,
normal,
that man could
but that
just
hardly made us
jump out the
feel any
window if he
better.
wanted to.
At first, we just waited, assuming Sly would show up the way he always did.
No.
But as the days stretched into weeks, we had to face the fact that he was truly lost. We've stopped talking about it all the time, but I know it's all we're thinking about.
Oh,
Even
let
if
him
we show
talk.
it in different ways.
Let him talk.
Murray seems like his usual cheerful self, but I can tell there's a new level of seriousness underneath it all. He's on the professional wrestling circuit now, and he's really been pushing himself.
Okay,
I know
Murray
he's
reacting
doing
like
it to
this,
keep
I
his
can
fighting
kind of
skills
see.
sharp.
He lost
Like
a
all of us,
brother,
he wants to
and,
be ready for
now
action
he's
the minute
pissed.
we locate Sly. Carmelita returned to
So
Interpol,
now he's
where
ready
she
for
threw
me to go
herself
save
into her
Sly
work,
at the drop of a
busting
hat.
criminals at a record pace. She's been so busy, I haven't seen her for a while now. My sources tell me she's conducting her own investigation into Sly's whereabouts. Out of everyone, I think she took his disappearance the hardest, even if she never shows it. At least not in public.
Come on, get together.
As for
you two.
myself,
Come on,
I
try it hard.
continue to search. Even
Don't
using
get
all
together, we
my
don't have
technology,
Latios.
I haven't found a clue.
Sad.
The time
We don't
machine
have
is no
Latios.
help since we need to
Yes.
know where Sly was for that to work.
Latios.
Now,
I get
here's a fun
discouraged
fact.
sometimes, but I'll never give up.
In one of my
Because I know
earliest attempts to
Sly's out
rewrite the
there,
ending of
and
this
I know
game,
that
just to kind
wherever
of
he
sort
is,
this out,
we will
I did
find
actually
him.
come up with a way for Sly to have actually sent messages to them from where he landed. It's in the Thievius Raccoonus.
Continue to refine his
All he has to
master
do
ninja
is just write
technique,
messages
as
he
well
knows
as his
Bentley
sushi.
and Murray
And while
could
his thefts were
decode,
never detected, his
and
sushi
he can
restaurant was
essentially point them
recognized
to
as the
him.
finest in Japan.
because he would know. They'd have the
El
book.
Jefe remains behind bars. He was
So all he
transferred
needs
to
to
a
do
South
is
American
tell them,
prison, where he now works
I'm
rolling
trapped
cigars.
here, please come get
Unfortunately
me,
for
it's
him,
hot in here.
There's no smoking allowed.
Or, better yet, he could travel to the Arctic. That ice block looking mighty tasty.
Tennessee Kid Cooper recovered his gold and his place in history as the greatest outlaw of the Old West. His legend grew even bigger when he began stealing from crooked lawmen exclusively.
He can literally just freeze himself until he thaws out, and then hopefully thaws out in the correct time.
Toothpick was arrested.
Then you have to worry about how there being two of him when Jean Bisson falls out at the same time.
And faded
We
into
up for some
obscurity.
armadillo pancakes?
He can just wait until to reveal himself until after this moment.
Good riddance, Armadillo Man!
Training and returned to his role as egg thief extraordinaire. Perhaps most importantly, he pioneered the use of his cane as a tool for thieving.
Oh, good on you, Bob.
Pictures taken seconds before disaster.
To be continued.
The Grizz received a lengthy prison sentence and began a new career as a rap artist. In his spare time, he paints
Man, I
portraits of
didn't
his
realize
fellow
you were
inmates.
Wrong Grizz.
I think that's Barrist, I think.
That is racist, is what it is.
Don't you Barrist?
Sir Gallant
Bears
Cooper
are-
returned to
Bears-
his
Bears
heroic
are racist.
adventures and went on to form the Knights of the Cooper Order, a gallant group that stole from corrupt nobility. He also became a successful, if overly dramatic, actor.
Oh no, here we go.
Penelope was sent to Europe's highest security prison, where she promptly escaped. She remains at large, and the police have no
Why?
clue as to her whereabouts. Recently, however, I've been receiving mysterious postcards.
Nani? Just Nani the fuck?
It's like they tried to turn her into Catwoman.
Again, this would likely come into play in the DLC.
Salim Al-Kupar finally
That
retired
this game
from
will now
thieving and
never
took
get.
a long nap. Then he dreamed up a lucrative new business. Parking his camel around town, he sold snacks to hungry customers. It was highly successful.
Food trucks.
He found a way to steal from people legally. Go figure.
Oh, Jesus.
After being locked up, Miss Decibel decided to make some changes. She had the horn removed from her trunk, enrolled in anger management classes, and began teaching music to other prisoners. With continued good behavior,
We just
she might get an early parole.
Pork out of that trumpet of hers.
How did they get it out of her though? Did they pull it out? Did they perform some sort of like delicate note surgery or something?
Probably the latter. As if it was as simple as pulling the thing out, why didn't you do that before?
Celebrity scuba diver, and even launched a new line of fashion wear. He's so successful, there's a new reality TV show chronicling his adventures.
Sorry, that's
It's
hilarious.
called
Just the way it
Disco
looks.
Diver.
Oh, that's funny.
I received a postcard from him once. Said, "I'm here. Wish you were fine, like me."
La
This
Paradox had
bitch.
all his assets seized, including his art collection, and everything was donated to the city of Paris. I'm told his cell was modified to be completely odor-proof. I suppose that's good for the guards, since he's going to be living there for a very long time.
Don't let him out, please. We don't need a repeat of this.
Technically, there's already a repeat, because time loops.
Curse you, time loops.
Isn't... Wait, the Paradox... Isn't he the only main villain of the franchise to be arrested?
That is correct.
Yep.
He's the only main villain to survive through the ending of his game to be arrested.
Because Clockwork exploded.
Clockwork exploded and ended up dead for the most part. Neela became Clockla and started slowly merging with what was left of Clockwork to become a new individual. Died. Dr. M refused to leave the Cooper Vault when it was collapsing. Died. Well, Paradox is the only one that actually managed to live long enough to see an arrest.
Most likely another thing that would have happened in the DLC then.
Because they couldn't let him just fall to his death.
Well, that is it for Sly Cooper.
As always, all credit goes to Bear. As always.
No, not for this series. For this series, the credit goes to Chocobo.
I would like at least partial credit for suggesting starting the Sly Cooper series in the first place.
Oh yeah, well, it was your idea to do this. So
Yes. So all, like I said, all credit goes to Larios and Bear.
but you played the game. I didn't even touch it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it.
First of all, you will take your credit where it's due, and you will like it.
Oh, okay.
There are no more Sly games, so unless they make Sly 5, which I doubt.
Yeah.
Or reboots, which is more likely.
We will probably never return to these. So,
Ever.
especially this one.
Because this game is poopy garbage diaper pants.
Yep.
The mechanics are okay, and the graphics, they're hit or miss. The story is where it falls flat, though. The story and the characterization, just everything to do with the game's narrative is where this all falls apart.
Yep. So,
This is why so many people, myself included, like to believe this game is technically non-canon. Because even before the time travel stuff started, so many things are different. Too many things are way too different to be reconciled.
So with that all said and done, I will be back on Monday with more Final Fantasy.
And next Saturday, hopefully, we'll be starting to play Final Fantasy 14.
Do you really want to start playing that?
Yes.
Or did you want to do
Well, both.
Night in the Woods?
Let's alternate between those two.
Okay.
Well, we do need to, well, but if we really are doing Final Fantasy 14, let me know which server you're on, because I'm trying to help you out with, playing. So we can do a party.
Okay.
I'm going to play a standby here just so I can get through the feeling of completing a saga. So, brace your ears. A saga is finished. We're finally done.
Yes.
But it was 2 weeks ago if, other things hadn't popped up. But honestly, I'm kind of happy that those other things popped up in the first place, because those games were fun.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, with all that said and done, no more Sly Cooper Saturday.
Starting next Saturday, it all depends. Yeah, where and I we do the Ramen Rider thingy, and then, well, if we can't do the Ramen Rider, it's either FF14 online or Night in the Woods.
Yep. So,
is FF14 free?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it on Steam?
It's on. You can do it. It's on consoles and on Steam, I believe. And I think, I'm not sure if this is entirely possible, but if you have Final Fantasy 14, I think you can actually play with other people. It doesn't really matter if you have console or not.
So it's cross-platform?
I would hope so. That'd be cool. Because if that's the case, hell, the more people, the merrier.
I might actually download the game if that's the case.
Yeah, because well, if you do it, and and if we're serious about doing this, I'm on the Leviathan server. Because you kind of be like on the same server you want to play, like fully with your buddies.
One thing I do ask though is that before we do that streak, we do a test game to make sure we can actually connect.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sometime in the week before Saturday.
Now, there are a lot of classes that you can play as. Like, I know you can play as like Reaper, Dark Knight, Dragoon, all that good stuff. So make sure you pick your class. But if you don't pick your class, you're not gonna with the class. You can always like freely swap to like a different class. Because you can have one character learn every single class if you want.
Alright, so, we will catch you next time. Alright?
I'm just glad I wasn't.